I'm ArnessaBennett. Welcome to the show. We have a great show planned for you today. We're going to talk about Life Master Tools. Yes, I'm going to give you some tools that you can start using today. First, we're going to start off with prayer, meditation, visualization. If you do these three things early in the morning, as soon as you wake up, you will be surprised how your day will go. This will give you a spiritual connect with God so that you can just start the day on top of the world. And you may say, Arnessa, I have so much going on, I'm not going to be able to get up early in the morning. If you could just set your clock 15 minutes earlier, just start off with 15 minutes. Do 5 minutes of prayer, 5 minutes of meditation, and 5 minutes of visualization. Once you start, it's going to change your whole world. Now, prayer is speaking to God. You are forming a relationship. And anytime you have a relationship with someone, you have to communicate. So this is going to be your way to communicate with God. It could be you asking questions. It could be you thanking him. It could be you just telling him about some things that are on your heart. And then meditation. Meditation is when you just get quiet and you let God talk to you. And this can be a beautiful thing because you will be surprised if there are things that you're going through or troubled about. He will give you insight on how to handle those situations. And then visualization. Visualization is one of my favorites because what you can do is just create in your mind how you want your world to be. And I am a believer that we create the world that we live in. So just start creating in your mind because everything starts in the mind. So just create the world that you want, how you want your home to look, how you want your relationships to be, where you want to go, things that you want to do. You will be surprised. And then number 2, be intentional about your life. And intentional just means to do things for a purpose. When I'm talking to my clients, the first thing I ask them is, what is your schedule? Tell me, how your life runs. What's your routine? And if they tell me, Arnessa, I don't really have a routine. I just do what I have to do to get everything done. I know it's going to be a problem because we must set intention, have a routine, and you'll be surprised how your life will go. I set at least 2 to 3 things each day intentionally that I want to get done. Now, there are going to be times when I may not get them all done, but then I know that next day that's going to be on the top of the list. But intentional means living life on purpose, living life for a purpose. You get to a point in your life when you know, I am here for a purpose. And for us, it could be different things. Number 3, write things down. Start writing things down and be a list maker. I always have lists going because that helps me keep things organized. And then one of the things I always ask my clients, do you have a day planner? Because when you come to a life coach, I'm going to give you things that you can work on and you're going to tell me what you worked on, what worked, what didn't work. You got to write it down. And if you write it in your planner or put it in your calendar, you know exactly where it is when you need it. And use your calendar to write not just your business things, but your personal things, your recreational things. Put everything in your calendar so you have one place to go to. Now, every day We have our iPads, but everywhere I go, usually I take my iPad, so I can just put things in my iPad. But I'm kind of old school also. I do have journals that I actually write in, and I have calendars that I actually write in. Find out what works for you, but start writing things down and putting things into your calendar. My husband told me today, when our vacation is going to be. So, we really stopped calling them vacations because we take a lot of trips. We just get away, little trip. So the next one we're gonna take, he gave me the dates for, so I put it in my calendar so I won't plan anything else around that time. And then also it'll have me, if it's things that I need for our trip, I'll have time to get them. Number 4, take time to find out or know who you are. And you may say, well, I know who I am. But you know what I found out? As we grow and we live, every decade that I go into, when I look back, I see it's totally different. I'm not the same woman I was in my 20s. I'm not the same woman I was in my 30s, 40s, and now I'm getting ready to go into my 60s. So you have to reevaluate and decide, what type of life do I really want? I'm a true believer that we have the choice to create the life that we choose. We have a right to have a spiritual connection with God. We have a choice to decide what type of career we want. It's all about us being a director of our life. The director is in charge of what is in and what is out. It's your life movie, so you get to decide how you want your life to be. Let me give you a recap of these things. Number 1, prayer, meditation, visualization. Number 2, be intentional about your life. Number 3, write things down. Keep a list or several lists. And number 4, take time to get to know who you are, because it depends on what phase of life you're going through. These are just some of the things that I've used, and time after time, I've had clients to tell me, Arnessa, I don't know how I got along without these tips, because it has changed my life. It's made me look at life a lot different than I had ever looked at it before. When you start being intentional, when you start writing things down, it makes you feel like you are a director. Yes, it may not be a movie, but it's your life. And your life is so important. Life master tools. Get started. Now, if you have any questions, or if you're wanting to get additional coaching, please email me at ArnessaBennett@gmail.com. And I will be starting some classes online, so you can find out when I get ready to do this. You'll be on the list for me to give you information. That's what I'm about. I'm about helping people create the lives that they truly want. And sometimes all it takes is someone to be accountable. A lot of times people say, I just need somebody to keep me on task. Right now, we're in a world, everybody's leveling up. I mean, even myself, I'm leveling up when it comes to my health and my energy, and doing some things that I have been putting on the back burner, bringing them to the front. So it's time to do some different things and feel good and look good. So make sure that if you want to be a part of these classes that are coming up, please go to ArnessaBennett@gmail.com. Try to get through maybe 2 or 3. The first one is, what is your favorite workout routine? I love water aerobics. When my mother was alive, she used to always try to get me to go to water aerobics. I'm like, nah, that just didn't seem like that was my thing. But I recently started going to water aerobics, and I love it. Totally love it. So my schedule has been busy, but I have to get it where I can fit it back into my schedule at least 3 times a week because I love it every time I go. And I love to walk. Walking is good, especially after dinner. Uh, Now that the weather is getting a little better, it's been hot in Arkansas. But what I love to do is to be able to have dinner and then at least walk around our neighborhood. We have a nice neighborhood. It's a little hilly, but a nice neighborhood to walk. What is your pet peeve? I guess my pet peeve would be people being rude. One thing I noticed, when you're talking to someone and then somebody will just come in between you and start talking like you're not standing there, that really irks me. And I notice a lot sometime at church, you'll be talking to someone and somebody will just come and just in the middle of you and just start talking. And I'm like, oh, bless their heart. Let's see, the next one. I see that you and your husband eat out a lot. Can you cook? Oh, yes, I am a very good cook. But my husband loves to eat out. That's one of the things that when he was younger, he lived in a small town, and he's a little older than me, so they had a hard time, going to nice restaurants in their small town. So one of the things he was saying when he was older, he was gonna make sure he takes his family out to eat, and then my husband, he only likes beef, sausage, and bacon. So we had to be very creative with him. But so we found ourselves going to Mexican restaurants, some Italian, pizza places, some barbecue places. But yeah. But I like beef, and I like other, like pork. I probably don't need to eat a lot of pork. I'm trying to cut down, but I'm not really as picky as he is. Now I don't really care for like crab or lobster. That that's not my thing. But I do eat shrimp. But yeah. But yeah, some of my favorite food. I love good vegetables and good meat. So you take me somewhere and there's some vegetable and meat, I'm a happy camper. One other, I see that you post a lot of low carb foods. I do eat low carb. I would say 85% of the time. Now, occasionally, I will treat myself. Yesterday, my husband and I went to Saltgrass, and we brought the cheesecake home, so we will probably have cheesecake tonight. But I try to really cut my sugar. I don't use a lot of regular sugar. I do use sugar substitutes. Real sugar is just not good for you when it's like a special treat when I do have the sugar. This is all for today, but I'm going to try to have these shows at least once a week. Occasionally, it may be some bonus shows during the week if I'm on location or I'm doing something out in the community. I may have an extra show or two. But please follow, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.